The Lowdown on CPNs. There really aren't any shortcuts in life. The same is true about building business credit, yet people try to find a quick fix all the time. There are a few major areas where people try to game the system. CPNs, also called credit privacy or profile numbers, are one of them. What's a CPN? A credit privacy number or credit profile number, CPN, SCN, or secondary credit number, is a 9-digit identification number. It can be used as an identification number for people when needing extreme privacy. Like a social security number, a person can only have one CPN. It's used as a unique identifier for your financial transactions and lets lenders and credit reporting agencies keep an eye on your borrowing history. What can a CPN be used for? A CPN can help you keep your finances safe and hidden from the public eye. For that reason, it's popular among elected officials, celebrities, and people in witness protection. It's generally used by people who need some extra privacy. Who legitimately uses CPNs? Celebrities use them because the media can use their real social security numbers to track what they are buying and where they are by tracking their credit cards. Congress holds special privileges in the law, so their privacy needs to be protected. And witnesses under protection can be located if they use a true social security number for transactions. This is why there is a credit privacy number program. When do you need to use your social security number? You are only required by law to disclose your social security number to the IRS, to your employer, when registering a motor vehicle, when buying a firearm, or when applying and obtaining a federally insured loan like an FHA. When can't you use a CPN? You can't use a CPN for many things, including IRS documents, for an employer, when registering a vehicle, or when applying for a government loan. Why can't you use a CPN for these purposes? The theory is if you give lenders a different 9-digit number, then they won't be able to find your legit credit reports. If they can't find your legitimate poor credit reports, they'll approve your applications, and then they'll start reporting the account information to the credit bureaus using the CPN. This establishes a new credit report for you that is not connected to your legitimate credit report. What about withholding a social security number? You're not required to give a lender your social security number when applying for credit. You can certainly choose to withhold any identifying information from your lenders, but they can also choose to deny your application as a result. You can't legally misrepresent your social security number. You cannot use a CPN in a form field which asks for your social security number. How can you get around giving your social security number? If you choose to withhold your social security number from a lender and you wanted to not become a criminal, you can leave the social security number box empty. If you place a CPN or another fake 9-digit number in the SSN field, then you will have just committed a federal crime. Is misrepresenting a social security number really a federal crime? According to the Federal Trade Commission, lying on a credit application and misrepresenting your social security number are both federal crimes. You cannot use a CPN in place of your SSN. This is considered to be fraud. You can face being charged with ID theft if an SSN was stolen. Federal law, see 18 U.S.C. Section 1028A. It says, whoever, during and in relation to any felony violation enumerated in subsection C, knowingly transfers, possesses, or uses without lawful authority a means of identification of another person shall, in addition to the punishment provided for such felony, be sentenced to a term of imprisonment of 2 years. For purposes of this section, the term felony violation enumerated in subsection C means any offense that is a felony violation of 11 Section 208-811 1107B, 1128B, Part A, or 1632 of the Social Security Act, 42 U.S.C. 408-1011-1307B, or 1320A-7BA, and 1383A, relating to false statements relating to programs under the Act. See 42 U.S. Code Section 408. It says, whoever, 7, for the purpose of causing an increase in any payment or any other benefit to which he or such other person is not entitled, or for the purpose of obtaining anything of value from any person, or for any other purpose, A, willfully, knowingly, and with intent to deceive, uses a Social Security account number assigned by the Commissioner of Social Security in the exercise of the Commissioner's authority under Section 405(c)(2) of this title to establish and maintain records on the basis of false information furnished to the Commissioner of Social Security by him or by any other person. See 42 U.S. Code Section 408 continued. Or B, with intent to deceive, falsely represents a number to be the Social Security account number assigned by the Commissioner of Social Security to him or to another person, when in fact such number is not the Social Security account number assigned by the Commissioner of Social Security to him or to such other person. 9. Shall be guilty of a felony, and upon conviction thereof shall be fined under Title 18 of imprisoned for not more than 5 years, or both, except that in the case of a person who receives a fee or other income for services performed in connection with any determination with respect to benefits, such person shall be guilty of a felony, and upon conviction thereof shall be fined under Title 18, or imprisoned for not more than 10 years, or both. How do you get a CPN? Anyone can get a CPN for free. Don't be fooled by anyone selling you a CPN, especially if they try to tell you it's already established. In many of those cases, the CPN they are selling is actually a real person's Social Security number. It may be a child or someone who is deceased. Tread carefully with anyone who says you can get a new identity, because that doesn't really exist. What do you need to know if you still want to buy a CPN? Watch for these warning signs. The company tells you it's perfectly legal to apply for credit using a CPN in place of your Social Security number. The company tells you to use an EIN to apply for personal credit. The company demands that you pay for a CPN. Or the company promises you'll no longer be associated with your old credit accounts. What does the Federal Trade Commission say? Companies promising a new credit identity say they can help you hide bad credit history or bankruptcy for a fee. If you pay them, these companies will provide you with a 9-digit number that looks like a Social Security number. They may call it a CPN, a credit profile number, or a credit privacy number. The credit repair companies may tell you to apply for credit using the CPN rather than your own Social Security number, and they may lie and tell you that this process is legal, but it's a scam. These companies may be selling stolen Social Security numbers, often those taken from children. By using a stolen number as your own, the con artists will have involved you in identity theft. If you follow a credit repair company's advice and commit fraud, you might find yourself in legal trouble. It's a federal crime to lie on a credit or loan application, misrepresenting your Social Security number. The bottom line is that if you use the number they sell you, you could face fines or time in prison. What does Equifax say? Companies running credit repair scams sometimes require monthly service fees or charge exorbitant amounts, occasionally telling you to pay them directly instead of making payments to your creditors. Others offer the idea of a new credit identity that, for a fee, supposedly hides your bad credit history or bankruptcy. If you pay that fee, the fraudulent credit repair company may provide you with a 9-digit number that looks like a Social Security number, and that is often referred to as a CPN, which stands for Credit Profile Number or Credit Privacy Number. But the CPN may actually be a Social Security number that the company has stolen from someone else. In other cases, the fraudulent company will suggest that you apply for an Employer Identification Number, EIN, from the IRS. This is a legitimate number used by businesses to report to the IRS, but it is not a substitute for a Social Security number. The phony credit repair company may then ask that you apply for credit using one of these numbers. Unfortunately, if you use either the CPN or EIN, the fraudsters may have involved you in identity theft, which could leave you facing fines or even time in prison, according to the FTC. What does Experian say? According to Experian, children's dormant Social Security numbers are being found and sold by companies online under the guise of CPNs, aka credit profile numbers or credit protection numbers. Using deceased, found, or otherwise illicitly obtained Social Security numbers is not something new. Most identity theft prevention programs consider deceased and non-issued ranges as identity theft red flags under the FACTA red flag guidelines. In fact, Experian and any good identity verification tool is going to check against the Social Security Administration's list of numbers listed as deceased, as well as ensure the submitted number is in an SSA valid issue range, providing fraud alerts if not. What does the Social Security Administration say? You may be prosecuted as a criminal for fraud if you knowingly furnish false information as to your identity in connection with the establishment and maintenance of Social Security records. The penalty upon conviction for violation of the penal provisions of the Social Security Act or one of the related provisions of the Federal Criminal Code may be a fine, imprisonment, or both. The penalty ranges from a fine of not more than $500, imprisonment of 1 year, or both, to a fine of not more than $10,000, imprisonment of not more than 15 years, or both. What does the Department of Justice say? A CPN is a 9-digit number that some credit repair agencies claim can be used as a replacement for a Social Security number in credit and loan applications. Falsely stating in a credit or loan application that a CPN is a Social Security number risks violating federal law. And what does the Better Business Bureau say? In the U.S., some scam companies will ask you to apply for an employer identification number instead of using your Social Security number. Misrepresenting your Social Security number is a crime. So are CPNs legal or not? CPNs do exist, and they are legal, but their intent is for specific situations warranting privacy. CPNs cannot legally be used in the place of a Social Security number for any purpose including the application of credit. In doing so, you are lying on a credit application and misrepresenting your Social Security number. These are both federal crimes. Let's recap on CPNs. There are no shortcuts to success. We know fast ways to build business credit. We only show you how to legally build business credit. You will probably hear about some less than ethical ways to build business credit. Experts at the FTC, CRAs, well-known business magazines, the BBB, and more all say not to do this. Don't fall for these scams. CPNs are a problem because they can be stolen, and using one when you must use a Social Security number is a federal crime. Contact us today to learn more about the Lowdown on CPNs.